The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
First at 6, we are expecting a huge outpouring of support for Officer Alex Hamzy today, the Bristol native, as his community rallies around him for his calling hours.
And a gym manager accused of voyeurism due in court, what one man says he did.
And the candidates for Secretary of the State faced off in a debate ahead at 6:30. We'll talk more about what they had to say about election security.
Good Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for being with us here at Fox 61 America Areas.
And I'm Tim Lammers. It's going to be a sad day in Bristol, but we're probably going to see a lot of scenes of beauty as I'm guessing the entire town getting ready to come out and show their support for Officer Hamzy. What is the weather going to be like in case people have to stand in line?
Yeah, it is going to be a little chilly out there. I think we've been hearing that from Matt Scott for a couple days.
Temperatures are definitely going to be a little on the subpar note. Good morning to you. I thought that was perfectly said. There's going to be beauty everywhere as we celebrate and salute as we do a little bit of mourning as well. There's going to be a lot of shades of blue across Bristol and the rest of the state, as you know. A little patchy frost out there this morning. Not a widespread thing, not going to be a widespread thing, although we'll keep a frost advisory in play again tonight. It's wall-to-wall sunshine. That's good for the sun, but not good for warming us up. And then tonight we'll keep the temperatures chilled. Cool for now. We do have a warm-up. Talk about that coming up. Look at the numbers right now at the top of the hour. 37 degrees in Hartford, 44 in New Haven. We mentioned patchy frost. Well, that's easy to happen when you've got 32s on the board. Meriden, Torrington, 33s up in the quiet corner, starting to get down there. Nothing to show you on the cloud and radar picture. Very light wind out of the west. Still watching the same system. This is what was over the upper peninsula of Michigan. You can see the pivoting around. Kind of looks like, oh man, we're going to get some action, aren't we? But this is going to push off towards the north and east. I'm not looking for anything. That said, with clear skies tonight, another opportunity for some frostiness across interior sections of Middlesex, New Haven, Fairfield County, up into the Litchfield Hills as well. 36 degrees as the high schoolers are getting on the bus. As everyone's getting off later on, 54 degrees. There's going to be a lot of warm folks on the soccer fields, the football fields for practice later on today, cross country, because I know, Lauren Zenzi, everyone's going to be bundled up in their hoodies to start, but not to finish when they're all sweating it out.
Yeah, that is for sure. I had my hoodie on just a moment ago. I'm always cold. It's cold in the new studio.
You know, can I just give up the ghost here? She actually did. I looked over and said, no, she's got a jacket on, and it literally is right on the floor next to her.
Here. It's right next to me. I just go boop right when I have to go on television.
There you go.
And I do have my blue on representing right now, and we will continue to wear our blue to honor those officers. Good morning, everyone, here at 6:03 in the Fox 61 Traffic Center. Not a whole lot to get to. We did see some heavier volume out on the roads this morning in the Hartford area, also down in the Waterbury area, but now that construction has cleared, things are looking good. Let's bring you out to the maps right now. The eastbound side of I-84, that little bloop of heavier volume as you're approaching the Hartford Tunnel. 91 north and southbound looking clear. As we take a live look out in Hartford, you can see that right here. Traffic is moving just fine this morning coming in and out of the capital city. Some heavier volume on the westbound side of I-84. Eastbound looking good as of right now. In the New Haven area, we can see 91 and 95 both looking good. And as we travel down into Fairfield County, those delays start to build up. Bridgeport to Fairfield. Let's take a live look outside right now. You can see that heavier volume on the right side of your screen in Bridgeport. I'm sorry, that's supposed to say I-95. New Haven is looking clear as of right now. We'll check in again on the roads coming up at 6:30. For now, Tim and Erica, back over to you.
Hi, Lauren. Thank you. Yes, 6:04 on this Wednesday morning, which means that it was a week ago tonight that Sergeant Dustin DeMonte and Officer Alex Hamzy were killed in the line of duty in what state police are saying was essentially an ambush at a home in Bristol.
And now people are getting ready to say their final goodbyes to the fallen heroes. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is live in Bristol this morning with much more on what's happening today. Lindsay.
Hi, good morning. Well, calling hours for Officer Alex Hamzy are today, beginning later this afternoon. And police are expecting thousands of people to come and pay their respects. And police are continuing to plan for the joint funeral on Friday for those two fallen officers that they say could see upwards of 50,000 people. Well, calling hours today for Officer Alex Hamzy are open to the public. However, the wake for Sergeant Dustin DeMonte is private. Now, on Friday, a joint funeral will be held at Wrench smaller stadium in East Hartford, which is open to the public, and thousands of people are expected to fill that stadium. Mark Caruso with the East Hartford Police Department says they will have close to 24 officers who will be stationed at the stadium on duty and around 80 officers from their department who will attend the funeral. Now, East Hartford Police have been planning the travel and parking logistics for days now, wanting to pitch in and help the Bristol Police Department during this difficult time.
Whenever we can play a role in helping out or hosting something of this magnitude and we're very thankful we have the capabilities in this town to do that.
It's going to be a beautiful send-off for those guys and their families. We're gonna make sure that they're honored in the way that they should be.
Now, Friday's funeral begins at 11 a.m. The town's preparing to see traffic from Silver Lane to Main Street all the way to the Manchester border, starting at 7:30 Friday morning and lasting until around mid-afternoon. And surrounding roads will also likely have some backup. Police say they don't anticipate lengthy road closures, but say that will happen as the fallen officers and their families make their way to the stadium. Now, for today's calling hours at the Lyceum Banquet Hall in Terryville for Officer Alex Hamzy, parts of Route 6 in Bristol will be closed. Now, state police are asking those coming to pay their respects to park at the fairgrounds and then use the bus service that's being provided as a shuttle. Now, the wake begins at noon and is scheduled until 8 o'clock this evening. And again, police are expecting thousands of people to come and pay their respects. We'll have the very latest on air, online, and on Fox 61 Plus through the rest of this morning and, of course, into the evening as well. Live in Bristol, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61 News.
Lindsay, thanks so much. We will check back later this morning. And we want to let you know that Fox 61 will have live coverage of Friday's funeral services at Pratt & Whitney Stadium at Rentschler Field in East Hartford to honor and remember the fallen Bristol police officers. You can watch live starting at 11 a.m. here on Fox 61, and you can also stream the funeral services live on fox61.com, the Fox 61 News app, and on Fox 61 Plus.
We got developing news this morning in East Hartford. Police said a man was shot in the chest on Hillside Street at the Coachlight Village condos. We're still working to find out how bad his injuries are, and we're trying to learn more about the investigation. So, of course, throughout the morning, all the way through 11 o'clock, we'll keep you updated on air and online.
Oh, we now know the funeral plans for the New Haven police officer who died following an 18-month battle with cancer. New Haven police say services for Officer Michael Hinton will be tomorrow at the Levan Funeral Home on Worcester Place. Calling hours are from 10 to 1. The funeral for Officer Hinton is going to follow. It will be at Orange Center Cemetery.
Well, today, a gym manager who's accused of filming a man in a changing room is due in court. 23-year-old Jordan Hill is facing a charge of criminal attempted voyeurism. This happened in Naugatuck. Police said they got a complaint back in June. Hill's being accused of filming a man who was naked at the time inside a changing room, and that man told police that he noticed the manager near the ceiling holding a cell phone. He believed he was recording him as he went from the tanning bed to the locker room.
Well, we have an update this morning into the Metro North train crash in Waterbury that happened on Monday. The driver of the tractor trailer that was hit by a train in Waterbury on Monday was issued a summons. Several people were hurt in that crash. Officials say the tractor trailer got stuck on the tracks while crossing gates were being lowered. DEP was called to the scene to clean up diesel spilled from that tractor trailer.
Well, exciting news in Waterbury today. The city officially breaking ground this morning on a new baseball park. The project is going to be at what used to be the Nova Dye Factory on 313 Mill Street. It's going to take the next year to become a community baseball field with everything including lights and a scoreboard, as well as a concession stand, public restrooms, and a playscape on the property.